So now you work for Tucson Parks and Recs as a GIS project manager, but more or less on smaller projects, more informally. So can you go a little bit more into that current role?
Sure. So when I came to the city, they had previously had a GIS person, but he had left and they let the position sit for a while. So it was empty for about a year and a half. And then they put it out and I went for it and got it. Yay. So when I walked into the city, I was walking into really old data because nobody had touched it for a year and a half. Plus, that data originally was created when we were doing a master planning process or strategic plan, strategic planning process. And so it was 4 years old when I got to it. And so it was, okay, great. What are we doing here? How can we get this updated? And so I just started digging into the data, seeing what I could update. But what really kind of pushed it forward was in 2018, the city did a bond proposition for Prop 407 to get funds to improve our parks, the amenities in the parks, and also connections like boulevards and greenways that connect the green spaces, the river park and stuff like that. When we went out for that and it passed by a huge majority, it was very popular. We're like, okay, great, fantastic. The city's voters have, trusted us with a whole bunch of money. We don't have really good information on our assets. We can't let that be the same once we have this money to spend. We need to be able to show what we're doing and track everything that we're doing for its lifespan so we can be accountable and transparent to the voters. So that passage of Prop 407 really lit the fire in my department to really get a robust GIS side of the thing, but then also get an asset management program. So we could track the assets themselves, but also all the work done on them. And so even though, like you said, my title is GIS project manager, but I don't do traditional project management. I don't actually have like an individual budget that I use for things. These are just like, all right, we want to do this. Okay, great. So I kind of work through the project management thing. And honestly, project management is a lot of communication, just making sure that everybody knows what's going on, keeping in contact with the people that you need to keep in contact with. And I worked as the project manager for our department that coordinated with the software company that we were using. At the time, they were called Cartograph Asset Management. And so I worked with Cartograph to come up with the schedule, and they came on site for 2 weeks. And we basically implemented everything in about 2 weeks. Worked beforehand to gather more data, to QC data, but the actual building of the product for us was just a 2 week, just intensive thing. But it has been really fantastic. We previously had an in-house built access database based system that we could log big stuff. We had to take down 8 trees because a storm came through or whatever, but it didn't track kind of our day-to-day work that we did. Where now we have Cartograph has now been joined forces with OpenGov. With OpenGov Asset Management, we are able to track everything that we do. We have kind of standard work that happens in parks every day, like emptying the trash cans, cleaning the restrooms, general picking up of trash throughout the parks, and testing the drinking fountains, make sure they're all working and stuff like that. What has come in really handy is we are short-staffed. It is always a challenge to find groundskeepers and people to work in the field, in the parks. And so what we are doing now with the asset management is, even though it's kind of counterintuitive for most people to say, I didn't do this or I can't do that, we've been asking maintenance to track the things that they're not able to do. So then we can say, this is everything that we have to do, but we can only complete X% of it. We need more staff. So it's been really great on just a simple knowing what's out there in the parks, but also being able to justify actual budget requests. That's so it's nice to be able to help out with that side of it too.